Hey guys, MJBCuber here, and today I will be making the first episode of my Beginner's Method series. Today we'll be talking about solving the first step, the cross. So the cross is not that hard of a step, but since you basically know nothing about the cube so far, I think that I'll have to give you some basic knowledge of the cube. First off, there are three pieces in the Rubik's Cube. There is a centerpiece, there is an edge, and there's a corner. The corners have three colors, like you see here. It's white, orange, and green. The edges have two colors. They're green and white, or for example here it's green and red, and the centers are only one color. Now the centers will always move in respective with each other. For example, when I go like this, the yellow will always be below the orange, no matter how I move it. The centers will never change. Centers cannot become edges, edges cannot become corners, so edges will always be edges, corners will always be corners, and centers will always be centers. Now that you have that basic knowledge of the cube, let's get on with the tutorial. The last thing you need to know before we solve the cross is the basic notation of the Rubik's Cube. Now, if you watched my Introduction to the Beginner's Method series, I told you that there was things called algorithms, which are basically sequences of moves to move pieces around the cube in which way you want them. Now those algorithms look something like this. Now I'll show you a little sheet of algorithms I have. By the way, you will not have to learn all these at all. This is an advanced method I use, so don't get worried if you see all the algorithms. But for example, an example of the algorithm is something like that. See right there? With all the letters and then like the marks next to them. That's an algorithm. So, if you saw the algorithm, it looks kind of like it was R, D, stuff like that. Now, those all represent a turn of the cube. So, take your cube if you have one, and if you're just watching them just for fun, just watch along. And I'll tell you which face goes with each letter. Now, for this face and this face, so the right and left, very simple. It's just L for left. So this is L because it's the left side of the cube. And this is R for right. Very simple, right? L, R. Pretty simple. Next, we have U for up. So this is up, U. And D for down. D. So we have R for the right, L for the left, U for up, and D for down. Now, the two last ones are F for front and B for back. You won't have to know B for the beginner's method, so all you need is R, L, U, D, and F. So remember that, and you'll be able to use any algorithm. One more thing about notation is primes and the normal letter. A prime means you're turning the face counterclockwise. So a clock runs like this. So R would be like this, clockwise, and R prime would be like this, counterclockwise. So if I were to say R prime, that would mean you turn the right face counterclockwise. If I were to say U prime, you would take the up face and turn it counterclockwise. So, I'll show you now. It's R for right face clockwise, and R prime for right face counterclockwise. Then we have L for left face clockwise, and L prime for left face counterclockwise. Then we have U for the up face clockwise, and U prime for the up face counterclockwise. Then finally we have, or not finally, but next we have D for doing down clockwise, and D prime for counterclockwise. Then we have F for the front face clockwise, and F prime for the front face counterclockwise. Now, watch that until you can memorize it. And for example, if I were to say F prime R U, you'll be able to do that. So, make sure you know how the cube turns and the basic notations, and now we can finally get to the real tutorial. I will now give you an example of what the cross looks like when it's solved. I have an example right here. It's when you have just a plus or a cross of white on top, and then on the sides of it, like see here, on the side of this one, it's 2 greens. On the side of this one, it's 2 reds, 2 blues here, and 2 oranges here. So the cross, and then the 2 colors going down from it are all solved. So basically, that is what a solved cross looks like. Now, scramble your cube up, and we can begin solving it yourself. So now let's begin solving the cross. The first step is to find the white center. So it's right here. So now that we found the white center, we're going to rotate twice, so that now yellow is facing top. Just a quick note, yellow is opposite white, so basically you're flipping the cube around so that now yellow is facing the top, because since the centers never move, yellow will always be on top if white is on the bottom. So back in the beginning of the video, we talked about corners, edges, and centers. In this step, you only care about centers and edges. So, the first step is to find, after you rotated the cube to yellow, is to find any edge with white on it. For example, I have one right here. See, it has white on it, and it's an edge. So, if you need some more knowledge on what edges, corners, and centers are, go back to the beginning of the video, and you can hear it explained again. But here we have an edge, and it has white on it. The step is to get it next to the yellow. This step of the cross is called the daisy, because you should have 4 edges around it of white, and then yellow. So we'll find a pretty easy edge to put it in. So this one's pretty easy right here. See, it's white, and the yellow's up here, so all you have to do is rotate this face up like that to match it up. Now, of course, yours won't be the same as mine, your cube won't be the same as mine, but try to find any edge in which you can just rotate it right up, like this. Or maybe the right side is yours, but as long as you can rotate it up in one move. So now we have this edge next to the yellow. Now we'll find another edge. So, here's one. This is a bit of a tricky edge because you can't move it up with just one move, because then it won't be next to the yellow. We need it so that it has to be up here. So, if you look at it, ones that are easy to put in, like this one, are always either here or here. So the goal here, you rotate the front face to bring it over to here, and then you can put it up. I'll show you that again. So now, we need to put this white edge next to this yellow center. So, since it's easy to move up a piece with one move when it's here or here, we'll take the front face and rotate it like this. So now we can just bring it right up. If you don't know how to solve the cube yet, it could be a bit confusing, but I think if you watch it enough, you'll get it. So now we have 2 of the edges in. Let's find another edge. Here's one. It's pretty easy. It has white on it, so we want it. And it's just a 1 move rotation up. And now we only have 1 piece left to solve because we have the yellow center and all whites around it. It's another tricky one. So we wanted to get it to here or here, because then you can rotate it up in 1 move. So now we have it here. However, if you put it up like this, you kicked that one out of the way. So what you want to do here is take the up face so that you have it out of the way, and then what you're going to rotate up into is clear. I'll show you that again. So, since you need it here or here to rotate it up in 1 move, you'll rotate the front face. However, if you put it up like this, you just kicked this white edge out of the way. So, we'll take the up face and rotate it until you have a clear spot to put it into, and then you'll put it up. If you need some more help on that, I'll be doing a little bit more, another example of that, but it's a little bit tricky at first, but I think you'll get it soon. So now I'll do one more example of how to get the daisy, which is the first step. So we have the yellow center on top already, which is the first step of it. Next, we have to find any edge with white in it. So we have an edge here with white in it. So it's an easy one. It's on the bottom, so all you have to do is rotate it twice up. So now we have it right here. Now we'll find another white edge to put around the center. Here's one right here. Now here's a good example. If you just push it up like this, you just kick the one you just put in out of the way, which is completely what we don't want to do. So you're going to rotate the top face until you can put the piece up in a clear. So we were like this, and if we rotated it up, now we just kicked out that one. So if we rotate the up face and make the where we're going to rotate up into clear, we can put it up without kicking anything out of the way. Find another edge. So we have one right here now, and it's not here or here because you can't rotate it up in one move. So what we have to do is rotate the front face so that it's either here or here. So we'll rotate it this way. But now, if you see, if we put it up, like last time, we kicked that out of the way. So whenever you have to get it into the clear, you rotate the top face. So it's still not clear because we can kick this one out of the way. So rotate it one more time, and now we can rotate it up. So now we have 3 out of 4. Find the last edge, and it's right here. Now here's the last example I want to show you. If you just rotate it up, you kicked that one out of the way because we had this one up. So we'll rotate the down face to bring it under where you need it to go, and then rotate it up. So that is the first step of the cross, which is getting the daisy. Next, I'll show you the second step and the final step, and the easiest step of the cross. Now we have the final step of the cross. This is to get these pieces now around the white, but attached to the correct color. This step is very easy once you get the hang of it. Now I recommend you do not be on this step yet until you know how to do this and get the daisy very easily. Now I know it's pretty confusing at first, but if you watch that part enough, I think you'll understand it eventually. Now one thing, for example, if you have a daisy like this, where a corner is in it, like I said in the beginning, all we care about are centers and edges, so if there's a corner in it or not, it does not affect you at all. Now it is better not to have corners, but really it doesn't really matter that much because in the next step, it doesn't affect us that much. So, the first step in solving the rest of the cross is to choose any of the 4 edges. I'll choose this one right in front of me. So, now, instead of looking at the white, we're looking at the other color on it because edges have 2 colors on it. This one is attached to a green piece. So watch. This piece right here, it's white and green. So now we're going to look at the green piece. The step here is to attach it to the green center. So this doesn't match. Doesn't match. This matches, like that. See how we have the white-green edge attached to the green center. Then, all we have to do is rotate it down twice. And now we have attached that one. Next, we attach another edge. I'll do red now because that's the one closest to me. So it's white and red. So we're looking at the red, and we have to attach it to the red center. So rotate it. Not attached. Rotate it again. Now we attached it. Rotate it down twice. So look, when you rotate it down, you're putting it so that now it's attached to the white instead of the yellow. Now we have this piece in also. I'll do the blue next. Rotate it, top face, not attached. Rotate the top face again. Now it's attached because it's the blue and white edge, and we're attached to the blue center. So we take it and rotate it down twice. We have one more now, so rotate it. Not attached because it's orange. Now we're attached because it's two colors in a row and the white on top. And we can rotate it down. And now, as you see, we have a cross and all the colors on the side attached. I'll give you another example, and maybe two, but I hope you understand that because it's not as hard as the first step. Now on to the next example. So for this example, I already solved the daisy because I don't want to waste time showing you a whole daisy step again. So once again, if you're up to this point, you should know how to solve the daisy part. So I recommend you don't stuff your brain with too much knowledge right now because if you're trying to learn from this, you likely have no idea how to solve a Rubik's Cube. So I recommend don't overstuff your brain with any knowledge. Now, let's get to the first step. We choose any of the edges. I'm just going to choose this one because look, it's already attached. So, in the background, sorry, I have some loud people in the background if you hear it, but sorry about that. And so look, it's already attached because it's the orange edge with it's white and orange and it's attached to the orange center. So now we rotate it down twice, like that. Find another. This one is the white green. So now we attach this to the green center. This is blue, so we're no good. This is red, so we're no good. This is green. Now we've solved it. All we have to do is rotate it down twice. Find another one. I'm going to use this one now. Rotate it. Nope. So this one's red and it's white. So now we attach to the red center. This is orange, so we're no good. This one's green, so no good. And this one's red. Now that we've attached the red center, we can rotate it down twice so that it's connected to the white center now. Sorry, I might have tilted it out of frame a little bit there. And this one's already attached, just our luck, to the blue. And we can rotate it down, and we've solved the cross. Now, like I said, it doesn't really matter if the corners are in there, because for the cross, it doesn't matter at all. For the next step, we'll be concerned about the corners, but don't worry about the corners for now, because it won't affect you either way. Now, I'll show you a complete cross-solve example. So I've scrambled the cube, and now I'm going to show you how you solve the cross in a full solve. So I'll show you both steps at once. So like I said, the first step is to find the yellow center. So we got it here. Put it on top, and with our luck, we already have one edge in. Find another edge. We have one. That was kind of hard to solve, so find another one. This one is right here. It's a white edge, and it's in the clear up here, so we can rotate it up. Find another one. Here's one in the bottom layer. And up here where it should go when we rotate it is clear, so we can rotate it up twice. Now we have one last piece right here. So since it's right here, we need it to be here or here so that it's easy to rotate it up in one move. So take the front face, and now we have it here. So if we rotate it up though, it kicks this one out of the way. So we rotate the up face until it's in the clear. It's not now because if you rotate it up, kick this one out of the way. Try again. Still not in the clear because kick that out of the way. So finally, we're in the clear and we can rotate it up. Next, we have to solve these edges. So pick a random edge. I picked the blue one. So it's white and blue. So we'll connect, since it's blue, to the blue center. Not connected yet. Connected. Like this. So then we rotate it down twice. Now it's connected to the white center. This one, with our luck, is already connected. Because it's the white-red edge, and the red is connected to the red center. Now, it does not have to be connected to that. It doesn't matter at all. Rotate it down twice. This one is the orange center. So rotate to the orange, or the orange edge. Now we rotate to the orange center. And like I said before, it doesn't have to be connected to there. It doesn't matter at all. So don't be concerned, like, you don't have to get a triple block. Only these two. And rotate it down twice. And finally, this is the green one, so we gotta take it to the green center. This is orange center, so it's no good. This is the green, we've connected it. So we can rotate it down twice. And now, you've solved the entire cross. As you see, a plus like this on white, and all of the colors around it are solved. So that is the first step of solving the 3x3 Rubik's Cube. I hope you understood this, and if you don't, and it's your first time watching this, I do not expect you to understand this yet. I actually spent 2 days practicing the cross before I moved on to the rest of the cube. So I highly stress that you really find out more stuff about the cube by just experimenting and trying to solve the cross by yourself. And just practice a lot, guys. Nothing will come if you don't practice this a lot, and spend a lot of time on the cross, because you'll overall gain a lot more knowledge of the cube overall. I hope this helped. Please leave a like and subscribe if you liked it. And this is not the whole cube, obviously. This is just the first step. So, if you're confused, go watch the video again. Do not expect to get it on the first time. And I hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye.